It is great to be back at my alma mater, the University of Hawaii, although I'm not a graduate of the law school. I always look forward to the opportunity to be back on this campus. I know how hard many of you worked to get this legislation passed, Senate Bill 2453. And so when we heard that you were all going to be here, we just thought we'd bring the bill signing to you. I wasn't aware that this was the first bill signing done on this campus, but I'm honored to be able to say that this is the first bill signing, if it is. This bill provides meaningful approaches to rehabilitation of offenders in Hawaii's environmental court and gives important tools to our district court judges to help protect our precious natural resources. I do believe that this measure is the first of its kind in the country. And under this bill, offenders will have the opportunity to be educated in our state's resources laws or go through resource-specific community service programs rather than being merely fined or punished. Ultimately, we are striving towards the goal of having all of our citizens share in the responsibility to care for our natural resources, our oceans, and our lands. And this bill does just that. And I would also like to introduce the chair of the Board of Land and Natural Resources, Suzanne Case, to say a few words before we get to bill signing.
Thank you, Governor Ige, and especially for being here. It's very, very special to have you here to do this signing, and it's a great honor to have our distinguished guests this morning. Great to be here, and I just wanted to first of all thank the judges of the new environmental court for their efforts in making this a reality in terms of a enforcement opportunity that we've sorely needed for a long time, and to be able to work closely with the members of the justice system to try to get the enforcement of our natural resources laws meaningful has been a journey, and we are in an evolution that we are all very hopeful for. And just a little context, we have many instances from not too distant past of our enforcement officers from the Department of Land and Natural Resources doing a lot of work to issue citations for violations of law that were, substantial violations, harm to our resources, killing turtles, harming corals, illegal hunting, and we're working so hard to protect our resources and support those who are engaged in responsible use, and it's been important that we have a justice system that really understands these laws and the purpose of them and the value behind them. And so that's the context here, and I want to thank in particular Judge Richardson for her leadership in this, and Judge Castanetti, who's been they've been very collaborative in helping to implement this as a transition. This particular bill is important because it fills a niche that has been identified. It's a little ironic, but you have penalties, monetary penalties, and potential jail sentences. But what came to light is that might not do the trick sometimes, because if you really want a transformative justice system, you want the people who are violating these laws to really understand why we care about them, and to have a meaningful opportunity to learn and engage in community service, or to be educated. If you're illegally hunting, if you're hunting without a license, for example, you should take the hunting course. I took the hunting course. It's a great course, and very important in terms of teaching really the ethic of hunting, as well as the practicalities of it. And if you're doing something that really harms our resources, you don't want to just be able to get off with paying a fine if that's not going to motivate you. We have a instance in Kalalau Valley on Kauai where our parks people and our enforcement officers have been engaged in a deep dive in the last 6 months to to try to get a handle on really extensive illegal camping, and with people bringing chairs and campsites and being in off-limit areas and overloading the facilities, and it's not a wilderness experience for the people who are trying to do it right. And to have somebody coming in and illegally bringing people in a commercial activity to drop them off when you're supposed to hike 12 miles carrying your own stuff and carry it back out. And so, you know, a small fine is not going to do the trick for somebody like that. So what we want is meaningful enforcement, and this bill gives us that opportunity. And so we thank everyone who's been supportive in making this happen. And I'm pleased to turn it over to Senator Gabbard, I think.
Yes.
Senator Gabbard. Senator Gabbard, who's been a leader in this measure and other measures in the legislature. Thank you very much.
Hello, Mike Kako. Well, I have a few things to say. Kind of a big day for our environmental court. Kind of a trifecta, right? The one-year anniversary of our environmental court, also the UH Law School hosting the India Law Symposium, focusing on environmental issues, as well as the signing of this great bill. I want to thank, first of all, Professor Denise Antolini for her tireless efforts in getting everybody together and moving in one direction, please. And also to Senator Keith Agaran for introducing the bill, and of course to our governor for supporting the bill as well. I think that, as Chair Case mentioned, one of the other things, though, is that because of the limited resources that we have, not always able to give the Department of Land and Natural Resources the money that they need to do their job, the community service aspect of this, as far as, you know, so that the people that are violating the law, they begin to understand, and by actually getting out there and fixing possibly some of the things that they've violated. So very happy to see this happen. I also, just real briefly, as an aside, I wanted to say that the signing ceremony is also in conjunction with the India-Hawaii Law Symposium, but I would be remiss if I did not mention the passage of SCER, Senate Concurrent Resolution 20, which passed, and it will establish a sister state between Hawaii and Goa. And so I think that this is just another example of the strengthening of the ties between our Hawaii and India. So mahalo, namaste. Thank you very much.